everyone. Hello, everyone. It's Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love helping you create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick 15-minute art projects. Did you guys see my cow? How adorable is that? So this I did in a group I'm in, but this inspired me for what we're going to do today. It's not quite, well, it's cute, but on a different level, okay? So hi, you guys. It has been quite the month for me. Craziness. Anyway, I'm turning this over. I'm getting out a fresh piece, and then I'm going to slide my protector in here. Okay. So we are going to, like this one, we're going to do a collage background, and then we're going to paint. I do have a free tracer for you, free template, whatever it is. It is in the chat, which, again, I'm hoping, let's open it. I may be able to, yes, I can see it today. Yes, I think I figured out the chat problem with Restream. I think it's in groups and not on my page or on my YouTube. So welcome out there to my YouTube fam and welcome to my Facebook fam. Let's get started. So if this is going to give you anxiety, I apologize ahead of time. I have this novel. I forgot where I got it. It was a quick beach read, so they call them, and I enjoyed it. But I'm using these pages to collage with, so I'm going to wreck this book, and I apologize if this gives you anxiety. All right, so let me turn you guys around, and we can chit-chat, because I have a couple of funny stories for you guys. All right, so let me just get out. Oh, week one, I could put some of those. Let me get some of these pages. I want full pages, so I'm just, oh, that one I already ripped out. So we'll see. I don't know how many I need, but I don't. The book was interesting. Jane Rosen. I'm sure she's read others. It's a quick, fluff read, if you know what I mean. And I'm just going to use it for the background while we chit chat. So I have been MIA. I apologize. This morning I did have an in-person class. You can rip or cut. I like ripped edges. You can cut your stuff. It's totally up to you. And ordinarily I would use my silicone pad, or I would use this to glue on and then move my stuff over. But since my whole background on here is going to be glued, I'm just going to use this to glue. So I'm just going to use this page and then I'm going to flip it over. So what a month. So I was very ill, as you all know. I had the flu, and then I got some kind of craziness stomach virus. And I was out for the count. I don't like when it hangs over. I don't mind it to hang over at the beginning, but after it hangs over and I glue it down, I'm going to cut it off. Okay. All right. So yes, I was out for the count, but I am better now. I had a great week. This morning I had an in-person class at a local library. It was tweens, and we did junk journaling, and they enjoyed it. If I can line it up and not have to cut it, that would be fine too. They had a good time. So when I do these, it's like a beginner junk journal class, and I provide them with a little kit. So it has colored pencils, markers, a glue stick, some miscellaneous ephemera papers, a composition notebook, a big paper clip, which honestly, you guys, I love a big paper clip. The big paper clip is always such a hit because they're always like, oh my God, look at the size of this paper clip. I'm like, I know. So I love that they love giving them a giant. I mean, the paper clips are this big. You probably have seen me use it. I made the one into that snowman. You can see it on my YouTube. I made that snowman. Let me grab it. Then you can see how big the paper clip is. I made this snowman paper clip bookmark. So look how big this paper clip is. So they all get a paper clip. And then if you want to know how to make that little snowman guy, that's on my YouTube. So anyway, it went well. I think, honestly, kids miss being kids. We literally played with glue, scissors, and paper for a little bit over an hour today. And they get their kit, which, like I said, has the composition notebook and a glue stick, markers, colored pencils, miscellaneous ephemera papers that I put in there, and stickers, so a variety of stickers. But then, let's go down here with this. I don't want everything to line up too perfect. But then I put out this whole buffet, I guess, of junk for the junk journals. I have calendar art. I have craft papers. I have tissue paper. I save packaging. When I go to the Dollar Tree, I save the packaging from the if I'm at the Dollar Tree, the $1.25 tree, and I'm checking out, and the candy rack has boxes, and those boxes are empty. I will be like, "Hey, I'm just going to take these empty boxes. You're just throwing them out, right?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, thanks, sure, no problem." And I take the empty boxes. So I had candy boxes and gum boxes, and I said the calendar pages. What else? Let me go see if I have to come over here for you guys while we do this. Oh, there I am. So, and literally, they're just cutting. And okay, I'm waiting for comments. Okay, we're good. They're just cutting and in their own world. And I think it was a big hit. I think they really, really enjoyed it. I like that one. I'm going to use that one. So it went well. I had a good time. There's one little boy that's like, "I'm not very good at cutting." I'm like, "That's okay. Cutting and using scissors, like anything else, takes practice." I have a friend, she's retired now. She may be watching. And I remember her saying way back when she first started teaching, and our kids are now late 20s, mine are early 30s. I remember when she first started teaching, and this was like shocking to us. She said, "You would not believe the amount of kids who don't know how to use scissors." And I was like, "What?" And I just think kids are just so busy running from here to there and everywhere that, yeah, do they color? Do they just sit and with paste and paper? Nope. So we had a good time today. I think they liked it. The class went well. Anyway, I'm doing this background. It was inspired by the cow I showed you at the beginning of this video. And then we're going to paint these cactus. Okay? I have the free Teresa for you guys over there in the side, in the, what do you call it? In the chat. And it's only a few colors, black and white if you want to even use white, a couple of greens, and then I have royal fuchsia. I'm going to rip this off down here. I don't really want this straight edge. Put that over there. And then this one I'm going to have to end up cutting, but that's okay. There we go. We'll leave that for now. So it was good. It was a good time. Oh, you know what? I know what I'm going to do with these. For no reason whatsoever. These I'm going to cut. You're going to see what I'm going to do with these later. I got that one. Obviously, they're not in chronological order. I'm not going to worry about that. So the other day, I had to make a return, a Kohl's return, a Amazon return at Kohl's. Okay. So when I'm done, you get that 15% off coupon. Not that it was burning a hole in my pocket, but you never know. And I was like, oh, let me get some new underwear, because I swear, while I was sick, obviously I did laundry and took a shower as best I could, because I was so tired and so sick. But anyway, I literally was wearing the same 5 pair of underwear. And so when I was in Kohl's the other day making my Amazon return, who's texting me? Let's see what okay. When I was in Kohl's the other day making my Amazon return, I was like, oh, Let me see what they have. Let me get a few pair of new underwear. Okay, so I go over to the underwear section, the lingerie, as my friend says on the TikTok. And finally, because it's a bit of a mess, find my size, find the style I like, which we won't get into, that's private, and what have you, okay? And so now I had a couple of more errands to run when I was done. So I was going to go check out. I'm like, you know what? Before I go check out, let me just scooch back and use the bathroom. I mean, I'm a woman of a certain age. Can't be away from the bathroom for too long. My bladder is not what it used to be, right? Are you with me? So now I go back to the bathroom to do my business, and I realize that I got the wrong size underwear. So thank goodness for me that I had to go to the bathroom, because I would have come home, which is what I did with the right size, but I would have come home with the wrong size underwear, opened up the packaging, threw them into the laundry, and put up my wash, and then realized at some point that I bought the wrong size underwear, and that would not have been good. So not only did I get to empty my bladder, I also realized that I bought the wrong size. I was going to buy the wrong size underwear, and went back. And then after, I pretty much started the whole situation over again, found the size I needed. So, all right. So what do you guys think? This is my background. Is it boring? I might need a, what do you call it? Is this going to fit there? Yeah, that'll work. What the heck? Oh, it did a crooked. I don't want to do a crooked. Once we put our artwork on it, we want our background to be our background. Our background's fun, sure, but our background is still our background. You want your artwork to pop. I could have painted the background. I was doing something a little different. Let me cut this off. So, thank goodness for a 60-year-old weak bladder. Otherwise, I would have come home with and wasted money on the wrong size underwear. Because once they were opened and I put them in the wash, that would have been that. And who knows when I would have realized that I got the wrong size. I would have put them on and been like, ooh, these are a little snug. These are not the same. Then I probably would have blamed the company for not making the sizing the same like they used to. Have you noticed, you guys? You notice sizes have changed? When we had bought clothes back in the day, so most of my followers are about my age, sizing is different. It's weird to me, the size that I wear now versus the size that I wore back when. Like now it's like, well, plus, hi Carol. Plus we didn't have 0 and 2, I don't think. I think when I was growing up, it all started with 4. Now there's 0 and 2. So it's gotten really weird. All right, I did my background. I'm going to put out my tracer here. I'm going to give it a little piece of tape. So one of the reasons I used a glue stick, because I could have used Mod Podge for this background, it would have been too wet. We would have had to wait for it to dry, or I would have had to get out my heat gun. But the fact that I used my glue stick, this is totally dry now. I can just put my tracer down, slide my carbon paper, or my graphite paper really, underneath, and trace. Easy peasy. I don't have to wait for it to dry. I don't have to do anything. So that is why, if I was collaging for the sake of collage, and the rest of my design was in fact going to be collage, I may have used Mod Podge. But since I want to come in here and get right to painting, I used my glue stick, and now I don't have to worry about it drying. You can put any design or no design on your flower pots. Totally up to you. And cactus come in all different sizes and shapes. I wish I knew what these were called. I do have some cactus growing inside this moved a little bit. I just want to see if I didn't move it too much. I do have some cactus growing inside. I don't know what these new shoots are called. And then I had these little flowers on mine too. I took one little cactus cutting from my friend's boyfriend's yard. And now I have two beautiful cactus plants. One I did stick my arm in once. It was not fun. All right, I'm not going to do the flowers. I'm not going to trace the flowers. I'm just tracing the base of the cactus. Okay, let's see. I moved, but it's okay. It's okay. So I have this tracer for you. It is in the chat up above or whatever. Okay, and now I'm going to I have a flat brush, but this one's too big, I think, for this project. So let me get a smaller brush. Need a smaller flat brush. That one's kind of ratty. I know I should throw it out. I'm putting it back. This one might work. And then I want a medium round. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is get out some black and white. And because our painting, our background is black and white, but different shades of white, obviously, because there's probably a mazillion shades of white. This is really going to go together cute. The first thing I want to do is come in here, and I am just base coating in my plant containers, my vases. I guess they're not vases. What are they called? Planters? Planters. There we go, planters. So there we go. Base coating them in. I can make my white as dark or as not as I want. Even this one, I'm going to base coat the whole thing white, and then I'm going to come in and put in some stripes. Now, if you want your white to be more opaque and not see the book pages through it, do 2 coats of white, do 3 coats of white. I don't mind having my book pages show through my white. That's totally okay with me, and I'm going to leave it. So also this week I went to a wake yesterday, you guys. My mom died in 1994. My mom was only 65 years old. The jury's out on what she died from. I believe she had been sick with lung cancer, but I believe to my core that she ended up dying of CJD. I did have it up there. It's on the corner on my, when I have my face on camera, there's a QR code for you to learn more and donate if you'd like to CJD. My sister was stolen away by CJD in 2016, and it was, in fact, genetic. And that's when I was convinced that my mother actually died of CJD. That is not the point of any of this. So my mom, back in the day, was a seamstress. My mom was born in 1929. She only went to school until the 8th grade. And she worked in a dress factory. She was a wonderful, wonderful, extremely talented seamstress. And my whole life, I only knew her to sew. And she would sew at home when I was little. It was actually called homework, if you can believe that. And she would go and pick up the pieces. So like say she did dresses, she would go and she'd pick up bundles of the 3 parts that make the skirt of the dress and whatever made the trim to the dress. And let's say it was like 8 different pieces of fabric and binding and ribbon and whatever, including like the zipper or whatever the enclosure was that went into making that garment. And so she would come home with her car full of all these separate stacks of the pieces, like if you've seen a pattern, when somebody cuts out a pattern, that go into then putting this particular garment together. Let's say it's a dress. And then when she was done sewing those, she would bring them back and she would pick up more. And let's say, like, the other person was responsible for making the top. And then they would sew together all the pieces that go into the top, the neckline, the sleeves, the bodice, whatever, the back zipper, whatever it was. And then there was like another person who took tops and bottoms and put them together. So that's what my mom did. My mom was a seamstress, black. And she was very talented. When I was little, she made all my clothes. Well, she had this one woman that she was friends with. And I remember the woman well. I remember a lot of the women my mother worked with back in the day. But that woman just passed away. God bless her. She was 95 years old. And I've kept in touch with her family and extended relatives over the years. And so she passed away last weekend, last Friday to be exact, because I have another weird story to tell you. And so yesterday was the wake, and I went to the wake. And it was, the bittersweet. She's 95, good run, good life, good for her. She had 2 kids, and I think at least 4 grandchildren, if not 5 grandchildren. Wonderful, wonderful woman, seamstress too. She had come here from Italy back in the day, and I didn't know this, but yesterday I learned that she always thanked my mother, which I didn't know this, which I shouldn't give you the details, but she always, thanked my mother for teaching her, but not necessarily teaching her, for facilitating her learning the English language, because apparently my mother at work, because my mother didn't always do homework. Sometimes she worked in the factory. As I got older, then she did work in the factory every day because I was in school. But apparently my mother at the factory, and don't come at me, but my mother at the factory would tell people, only talk to Angie in English. And so Angie was forced and encouraged to learn and speak better English. And I didn't know this. They just told me this at the wake yesterday. I was like, I didn't know that. I knew over the years of knowing Angie that she went from not being able to speak a lick of English to becoming fluent. But I didn't ever know that it had anything to do with my mother. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And it was nice to hear stories that I haven't heard in a long time about my mom and working. And there was another older woman there. She was probably 95 as well. She was Angie's sister-in-law, and she too worked in the factory. I remember her. And her daughter was there, and her daughter remembered me, which I thought was weird. And so my first job when I was in high school, my first job was pumping gas. My friend's dad owned a gas station. And at 15, you could work with working papers here. You got them from your high school. And I worked pumping gas. And so this woman yesterday says to me, oh my goodness, Teresa, I can't believe it. I remember your mother hated you having that job at the gas station. I was like, what? I was so surprised because I knew my mother hated me having that job at the gas station. But I didn't know that she was talking to people about it. So that was kind of funny. But so quite a few people yesterday I haven't seen in a while. I guess these things have a way of doing that, right? You go to the wakes and whatnot, and you see people you haven't seen in 100 years. Okay, so I have my vases down. They're going to add some details to it, but that's good for now. I have 2 color greens. I'm using Holly Green and How to Light. It doesn't matter. They're cactus. Cactus, like leaves and flowers and grass, are all different shades of green. You want a dark green and you want a bright green. And I thought this Holly Green, which I hardly ever use, was a good green for doing cactus. And I could switch to my flat brush or stick with my, maybe I will switch to my flat brush. We'll see how it goes. So this is a half, well, a little smaller than a half inch. This is a number 12. This is a plaid number 12. It's about the size of my fingernail. And I'm working on a 9 by 12. Okay. And so I'm going to load it up. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start painting in my cactus. Now you can do your cactus one color. You can do it a variety of colors. Or sometimes you see cactus and each, I don't know, segment. I wish I knew. I should have looked it up. Each segment or growth or frond, I don't know what it's called. Somebody wanted to look it up and pop it in the comments. That would be great. Sometimes there are multiple greens just in themselves. So I'm going to take this one and I'm making this one 2 greens. Okay, I did the dark green and the light green, but I don't like that it almost looks halfway. So I'm going to add this here. I saw that when I went up and looked in my camera that it had a little too much going on there of the, it looked like I split it in half because I'm talking. So now I'm going to come in here and we're going to fill in this little knob up top, pick up a little bit of light and shade it in there. Okay. And I'm just going to start filling all these in and then we'll go back and we'll add the flowers and some details. I picked up a little bit of black from my container down there, but I don't mind because it's on the top and it's almost like it was making its own shade. So now I'm going to pick up a little bit of this light green because I want a different color. So you can mix your 2 greens and make a new green as light or as dark as you want. You can use the lighter green and the dark green for shading and highlighting. Or you can do a split like I did on the first one. And I'm going to do them multiple ways here for you guys. All right. So this has a little bit of the dark and a little bit of the light. And I'm using it for shading. There, I split it. And I'm just going to keep going. They're called pups or... Thank you. Cute design and background. Thank you, Miss Sydney. Pups or offsets. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your doing that for me. And for those of you who don't know, that wonderful little helper is my daughter number 2. So thank you. So I took a book, pages, and did you see my cow the other day? I don't know if you're still here, Sid, or if you just dropped in the little Google inquiry and then left. But I did this cow the other day, and it gave me an idea. This is also book pages back here, but then they were painted over. A little bit more colored, a little bit different going on. So then I did that today. I did these book pages, but I didn't paint over them. I'm just coming back in, and I want my design and my cactus to really pop. So I kept them in their natural state. I did warn people ahead of time that I was, in fact, going to be ripping up a book. So if their anxiety was too much for that they were going to have to watch the replay or not watch at all. There we go. So you know what I'm going to do on this one? I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger because this one's down here. It doesn't have any pups or offsets. So I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. I have room in my container. Make it higher and a little bit wider. And my paper there is starting to lift a little bit, but since I have some wet paint going on, it's going to have to wait until I'm done. to fix. Mm. So, oh, I meant to look. Let me check something cute. I like it better not painting over them. Oh, not painting over the book pages? It's just a different look, and that's fine. That's why it's art, because everybody likes different stuff, right? And I think, get a little bit dark here. I think I like the way my cactus are base coated. Oh, let's try something too while daughter number 2 is here. 1 second. Don't go anywhere, anybody. Facebook. I want to find, so I set up these automated messages weeks ago. And then again, I was sick, you guys. So I don't even know where to look. What's up? Threads. Add account. Nope. Meta verified. Nope. Let's go back. Inbox. Let's see. Messenger. And then if I go to messenger settings, so I created these automatic messenger settings, and I haven't tested them yet, and I keep forgetting. Messaging, nope, nope, nope. And now I don't even know where to look to tell you guys to test them. There's some kind of automated settings in my Facebook page. It's not integrations. If you are still here, Missy, maybe you can see where I need to look from setting up my automated messages. So then I can see what the words are. I think one of the words was tracer. I think if you put tracer in, oh, missed that little piece. If you put tracer in the comments, you'll get a free tracer. There's like 4 different words I set up. I don't remember what they are, and I don't know where to look for them right now. It's called Messenger Automation in the Facebook. Anyway, so what was I saying? I was talking about the wake. I was talking about my mom. And then I got a little sidetracked. So here's the base coat of my cactus. All right. This one, we can put polka dots on it. Let me see what I could use. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to use, let me get, do I have a pouncer available? Oh, they're behind me. Oh, here we go. This will work. There we go. Just added a couple of little dots to that one. Okay. All right. So let me get out my hot pink. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. So let's see if tracer worked. You should get a DM with a free tracer. But I don't even know. I might be making that up. But while we're here, we can figure it out. It's pouring rain here today. I had to go do the class. Then I had to stop and do a couple of errands. Not fun. All right. I'm using this medium round. The cactus flowers are kind of simple. And it's just a push of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have my little round brush, my medium round brush, whatever it is. And I'm just making 1, 2, 3. And they meet at the middle. 2, 3. And they're different sizes. A little bit longer in the middle, short on the sides. All right. So on Monday, you guys, I have a live show. I'm doing this channel. It's called Talk Shop Live on Monday. It is the company that my daughter number 1 works for. And I'm going to be highlighting and demoing the paper crafting art kits that I have on my website. just put a little flowers on there. I'm going to get some white for this one. Some of our cactus sometimes has these ribs to it, and they start up at the middle. So I'm using a little bit of light pressure on my brush because I want little light lines. And I'm just adding in these little ribs to my little succulents here. And this is just part of adding the details in to our art. I'm going to come around here on the outside and come around here on the outside a little bit too. There we go, there and there. And simple, simple, simple little background. This one gets them too. Let's see. Again, I'm going to come back and glue this later. But right now, I'm just going to hold my finger on it because I don't want to mess it up. And I'll come back and glue a little bit, fix it later on when I'm done. I'm not that worried. The important part of the segments when you do a cactus is that they all start up in one of the same points. They don't have to start exactly in the middle like you would with a pumpkin, but you want them to start, it's like that one's over there, this one's over here. You want them to start a little askew. Let me get some yellow. Few colors, some book pages, and we are good to go. I have to cancel that. Oh, why did that happen? You guys, my phones have been acting crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know why. There we go. All right, I'm going to take the back of my brush and put these little dots in this particular one. And by default, as I dot, my dots get to be different sizes. So who joined the free workshop was it last week? And yes, it was last week for the love of printables. So this is yellow, you guys. It doesn't look yellow to you. It looks white. I don't know why that is. There, it's a little bit better. These dots are yellow. These highlights over here are white, but those dots are yellow. But I think I'm going to get a little bit of yellow because I can see it, and I'm not going to add it everywhere and to everything, but I am going to add a little bit of yellow in some of these segments. Just bringing the yellow into the rest of my painting instead of just having the yellow on that one guy in the middle. Okay. All right. A little bit of the wash. I can use this brush or I can use this brush, but I'm going to get some white paint. We'll see how this works. And I'm going to add, what are they? Cactus needles. And again, in groups of 3. So I'm just coming in here, very light pressure, and doing 3 little swoops. 1, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Even some of them can go to the outside. Like they're sticking off from, cactus are 3D. And so they're sticking out the side. They're sticking out the top. They're on this one. And it's these little details, and as light as you can be with your brush, it's these little details that really help. And they're not perfect. I mean, and I'm sure they look much better to you, but they just add so much to your artwork. If you wanted to do this, I'm going to add a little white highlight to my flowers too. You could take a 5x7 and just make your background and just do one of these. Pick one succulent, one cactus that you want to make. You don't have to take on all three. You only have 15 minutes. Take one and mix and match. Maybe you want to do the simple polka dot one, but you like the way that cactus looks. So trace the container or trace this container, but don't put the triangles in it. And then put the polka dots and then do the cactus. There's no rules, you guys. And you know, I'm fairly easy. I wouldn't give you anything and tell you to use it in the wrong way or a different way or a bad way. I like to give you guys the tools and techniques you need. So if you have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, and you feel like spending that being a little creative, stopping the noise in your head, you're struggling a little bit and you need something to take your mind off of it, flip over to my YouTube channel. I would say my Facebook page, but you know, these videos don't stay on Facebook. Facebook gets rid of them after 30 days. Flip over, find something, and just create. It's not about the end product. It's not necessarily about what you end up with at the end. It's not about being in a museum. It's not about being in a museum for me either. It is about, I'm going to do a different flower here. It is about self-care through creativity and taking some time for yourself to stop the noise. I'm going to get some yellow and put a dot in there. Okay, again, I don't know why my yellow is looking white on the screen. You can tell kind of a bit of difference. So the cactus needles are white and then these dots are yellow. So you can see there's a difference, but you really can't see that these are yellow. I'm going to get my black. Cute design. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want the free tracer, it is above. If you're interested in joining the Junk Journal Hive, that link is above too. We are open right now and accepting new members. We had a great event last week with the for the love of printables, paper crafting and junk journaling with printables. This is done. That's garbage. All right. I'm going to load my brush with some white. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of black and make like a little light gray. Pick up more white. And then I'm going to come down here and just with my brush on the side, I'm just going to scrub in here some shadow. This way our pots are not just floating around in the air out here. They're actually, you can see they're on a shelf or they're creating a shadow or they're sitting on something out here. And that's it. Just simple. Get a little bit of black, a little bit more black. There we go. There we go. There we have it. Let me turn that off and pop up here and turn you guys around. So take this out. And this was today. Little simple art. Couple of cactus, collage background. It was inspired by this project that I did the other night in a class. Yes, I take classes. And that's what we have today for you. Thank you for joining me. I've missed you guys. If you missed my underwear story, you're going to have to catch the replay. That was a funny one and well worth it. Love you guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Oops.